Today we're going to be removing the sport bar, love the sport bar, from the Toyota Tacoma. If you're not familiar with it, what I'm talking about is this sport bar. Some people call it a roll bar. But to do that, a little involved. I have a third brake up there, a third brake light rather, that's incorporated into the sport bar. It actually connects into the wiring on the back of this tail light. So I have to pull the tail light and disconnect the wiring that runs all the way down the bar into here, and then pull the bolts off of the sides and figure out how I'm going to get this thing off and get it up there. So first things first, let's go ahead, pull the tail light, get the wiring disconnected. Pulling the tail light real quick, I just did a video on how to replace the tail lights, but you just want to take out the second bolt down here and the last one here, and then the tail light pulls right out. All right, we've got the tail light pulled, and as far as the wiring, this is going to be the new old tail light, by the way. I already have that one on. But the wiring was pretty simple. I had a plug-in connector here spliced into the wire that corresponds to the brake light on the Tacoma. And by the way, if you want to know what that is, there is an install video for the sport bar out there that'll show you which color wire and how all that was done. Anyway, this is the wiring from the sport bar, runs up the bar as I mentioned. It just plugged into that connector, which I just decided to leave on as opposed to pulling it off. It's not a big deal, it won't hurt anything, but it just pulled right off of there, and that's it. And then I have a ground wire connected in right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, right there, that I need to pull off, and then the wiring is free, and I'm gonna kind of start pulling it back through here, and then we're going to remove the sport bar. That should be a lot of fun. We'll get to that in a minute. First I need to button up this tail light assembly, get it back on, and then we'll move on. Okay, got the tail light put back in. You can sort of see it around the corner there. But now it's time to remove all of these nuts and bolts and washers that actually hold on the sport bar. And I love the setup for this because it connects right into the track that comes with the truck, or is an option for the truck anyway. So I had to go ahead, take all these out, and then the sport bar will be free, and we'll see about getting it up there on the lift for storage for a little while. Okay, there's all the hardware freeing the sport bar from the Tacoma. All the wiring is tied down up top. All the bolts are gone, or released, I guess. So now it's a matter of getting it up there. Have an idea to do that, I'll show you. You can see we've got the truck up here. Let's see if we can get it off. Or maybe get it on, I don't know. Depends on your perspective, I suppose. Looks like I lined it up pretty good, I think. Hopefully I don't hit my head on this 15 times, which I probably will. All right, let's see. Okay. Yeah, there's the first time. Okay. Nice. All right. We're good. Slow, of course. And now, if I duck under, I should be able to just slide it right to you guys. I think. Okay. Nice. I tell you, having a lift is so useful for so many more things than putting a car on it, I gotta say. But it's off, it's up, we are golden. Now, I gotta get those screws out. I'll show you how to do that. There's a little hiccup there. And then we're done. All right, I have all of my bolts off, and I know I was gonna show you guys a little trick. Right there, you can see that screw. I had to remove those. They're the ones that hold the tracks on. To enable the bolt that I use to slide through. And how I do that, I use washers as a spacer to kind of hold them in, like so. But the back of the bolt head won't clear that bolt that holds the rails on. So I have to remove it to be able to slide this. So that's the little trick, I guess. Anyway, that's it. The sport bar has been removed, and notice there's no damage along the rails. They all are still just fine because the sport bar itself, which is now up there, has padding on the bottom. So the padding enables you to keep your rails nice and clean or crisp or undamaged, I guess. Because you're not in direct contact with the steel itself. Anyway, that is removal of the sport bar. Broke a sweat doing that. 74 degrees here in South Texas. So the truck is back to stock as far as that goes. Not a whole lot of other stuff on it right now. A couple of, you know, the badges up on the side and the stickers, of course, the wheels and tires. We're going to see if we can't work something out with these. But that's pretty much it. Leave a comment. Let me know. Like the truck better with or without the sports bar? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.